over by a taxi in December, hurt his knee, also on the boundary, starting on the bench.
Thank you, Doc. Thursday night football, the season underway. Opening bounce at Subiaco Oval. Chris Judd's got it, taken down by Ball. Powell, Stenglein on top of him, and the umpire will do it again. Warm night, big crowd, great atmosphere. St Kilda have not played well on this ground in recent times. One down by Ackland. Cox tackled. Kerr over the shoulder. Spiked there by Milne. Chick missed it. Goddard put a hand in. Del Santo cruises through. Goes down towards half forward. Revolt on the lead. Takes the mark.
Started inside forward 50. Hunter's picked him up. Has had some problems, well-documented problems with his goal kicking. So this will be very interesting. If he slots this one through, could be the start of a whole new accuracy era for him.
Saints have not won here at Subi since round 6, 1998. Nick Revolt had memories of round 1 last season when he was tag team. There goes the kick towards full forward. Big pack at the drop. Cox feeds it back. Now in the pre-season competition, that would have been 3 points and a lot of baloney. So the opening score of the season, and he's got big boots to fill, we know that, but looking down, Dwayne's got big feet. Dwayne, away you go.
Try and squeeze Collingwood in early if you like. Dan, of the last, well, the 8 wins in a row they started with last year. The West Coast Eagles, the first loss was to Collingwood. They want to start off well again this year. Stenglein's got it. Kicks long, getting under it. Hayes backing back with the flight. Takes a good mark. A little bit of shepherding. It was okay. Powell. To the couple in the middle if he wants to. Wants to go longer. Revolt's there. It's closer to Gehrig. He gives the edge out, but a good mark taken by Glass. Hands off immediately, and they're away from defence. Cox is wide. Takes the mark on the wing. Held up though by Ackland.
Just looking at the matchups, it looks like Chris Judd and Luke Ball might be going shoulder to shoulder. What about that for a matchup? The 2 new captains.
Shortish to Hunter. Still got it on the wing. Powell matching up on him. And Hanson's there for the chip kick. That's ignored. So he sends it high and long, just hoping for the big grab. Thump down. Crummer's waiting. Voss. And also Maguire. Maguire takes it across the boundary line in front of Hanson.
We see also that Stevie Milne's a forward pocket, but what he's done with Wirapunda, rather than set up Wirapunda in the back line, he's taking him up into the middle, so he can't be the architect out of the back line for the Eagles.
Cox knocked it to Kerr. Heard the voice, back to Cousins. Big roar around the stadium. Goes down towards the pocket. Upended down there was Lynch, and he's going to get the free kick, or is he? It's going the other way against Lynch, and it's going to Hudson.
Yeah, the original hand, Dennis, went into the throat of Hudson. The umpire has signalled, and he's got a handful of jumper there. Prior just to that.
So the Saints bring it out. This is Ackland.
Interesting too, that strategy by the big fella Lynch. He was out on the lead, and it's almost like he waited up for Hodgson to get there. If you're out in the lead, just go for it on your own merits.
Ackland for distance. Wirapunda uncontested, going back with a flight of it. In effect, takes the mark on his chest. Pumps it out wide. Cox into space. The All-Australian ruckman plays on. Lacks marking. Kicks inside the 50. 1-on-2 down there. Lynch had it knocked away by Hudson. Goes again. He's collared in more ways than one by Milne. Umpire said he ducked. Seaby goes in. Cousins over the top. Picked up by Baker. He immediately attracts a crowd. And the umpire says held to him. The umpires tonight, not in camouflage, they're in green, which is pretty close.
Ball up inside, they're attacking 50 Sampi. Late inclusion for the West Coast Eagles. And he's over it, and he's under them all. And it'll be balled up again. Gasp for the man who was the late withdrawal for the West Coast.
Judd, Ball, Del Santo with Stenglein, Hayes and Kerr, Baker and Cousins.
Cox got the knockdown to Kerr. Gets the kick around the body, not around the body enough. And it's way offline, out of bounds on the full from the boot of Daniel Kerr.
They are some serious matchups in the middle of the ground. Baker has usually got the job on Judd. Well, he's gone to Cousins. That's Sampi and Graham, but gee, Del Santo and Stenglein, that's a beauty as well.
Brett Voss to bring it in then. Shadows lengthening down Subiaco Oval. Strange football ground. In effect, it runs east-west. Makes it very difficult late in the day, particularly for the spectators at the eastern end. There's the West Coast dugout. Plenty of those spectators. Cox with the left foot floats it towards the pocket in the season's opener. Up very high down there was Staker. Couldn't reel it in. It's gone across the boundary line. The bench for the Saints. Pace could be the key tonight. Cox in front. Ackland over the top. I think Cox will get a free. He must. He was in front.
No, grab hold of his jumper, Kane. Grab hold of his jumper. The swinging out, mate.
Yep, doesn't get any more clear cut than that from the umpire. Gee whiz, nearly every ruck contest that happens, but if they're going to be consistent, left hand there.
Why would you do it, though? I have trouble rationalising that. Why bother?
I don't think he will after that.
Oh, Stevie Powell's just thrown a little one just off the ball.
Dean Cox, the opening goal of the season, 25 metres out, pops it through. It's official, we're underway.
First goal to Dean Cox. The West Coast Eagles players laughed at Dean Cox when he first came to training down from Dampier, about 12 hours north of Perth. He's being buffeted by cyclone at the moment. He's having the laugh now. He was uncoordinated when he first got there, but he's really hit his straps. Baker takes it from half-back, goes long towards Milne. Wirapunda's within. Milne takes the mark, tries to take him on, gets it inside 50. Revolt's down there, so too Watts. Watts hands to Revolt. Wobbly kick, bounces toward the square. Glass might take this through. Tries to ride the bump. Does well. Gets it to Waters. Back to the pocket to Kerr. Still under pressure from Hamill. Gives it back to Waters. Back again. Kerr tries to bounce it out. Bounces it to the 50. Milne's there. Half collared by Wirapunda. He's over it. He's still over it. He's still over it. Gets it out finally. And they get away with it. Nikoski. Well, he thought he was going to. Ball back in the middle of the ball. And the umpire lets it flow. Now he'll ball it up.
We're going to find a few packs like this happen in the first quarter and a half or so until the boys run out of a bit of steam. A little bit of fumbling with the early pressure. Once they get a bit of space between them, fitness will come out. We'll lose these packs.
Cox knocked it down. Judd slid in. The ball could have been pushed in the back. Umpire wants it.
Just saw the value of Hamill though. That pressure started with him attacking in the forward pocket, and as a result of that there were 3 or 4 more tackles. The ball stays in the vicinity. Now they've gone tall too in their forward line. Watts, Garrick and Revolt for the Saints.
Revolt knocks it down. Powell overran it. Chick high striding in there. Spills wide of the pack, taken by Mill. Judd got him, spills across to Chick. He missed it. Hayes on his knees, did well. Ball, quick hands. Now Harvey is through, needs to settle. He was stumbling forward. Kerr going after him as well, and the kick as a result affected and through for a behind.
Jamie Graham kicking out from fullback. I've got him Waters before, but Waters has changed to number 8. The old Metropolis and Jeremy Hayden number to the outer side, and here he is. Cousins, what a summer he's had. Over the top to Embley, about to get caught. He's slick. He gets it inside 50. High bomb, bouncing ball. Big bump on Maguire, knocks him down. He's inside 50. They're all around him. Ball comes free. Stengline sidesteps. Wobbles a kick to full forward. Embley, how does it bounce? Kindly, he rolls it. He has goal it.
Eagles lead it by 10 points. Here's that goal again.
Some hard running, as Dermot pointed out. He's a hard-working wingman half-forward. Cousins is the player that pushes up from half-forward. Baker is used to playing sort of midfield role. He needs to be aware of Cousins' go-to ability.
Cox knocked it down. Judd mishandled uncharacteristically. Milne taken down. Chick surrounded. Wrestle to the ground. The umpires tonight, Alan Vozzo and Woodcock.
Interesting too, you point out, Gaz, that Benny Cousins has been the lead-up player. Now, that used to be Ashley Hansen last year. Whether they're trying to get another potent forward to stay inside 50 and keep Hansen at home.
Hayes, the hand pass. Goddard slips it back. Del Santo nicely. Powell. Hand passes forward, taken by Harvey, who hand passes back. Gehrig fumble, gets through. He can kick a goal from here. Fraser Gehrig lines up and misses. The crowd enjoyed that. Former Eagle.
Good acceleration there for Big Fraser off the mark there. Interesting too that they're playing Watts out of the goal square with Fraser starting 15-20 metres in front of him.
So they got long memories. Still doing Fraser, but I think the feeling was that he left before he packed. There goes the kick towards midfield, in from the side. He's back tonight.
Gives it up to Hayes. And now wider ball, chance for Milne. just outside 50, pops it up. Harvey thought about playing on, thinks better of it, will go back and have a shot.
Tough kick for Rob Harvey, this one.
It's a sign of Milne's maturity as a footy player too. I mean, in days gone by, he might have tried to run this in, get around 3 players, but just the discipline thing, the thing that your teammates expect you to do, and that was a smart decision.
19th season for Robert Harvey, on target to become St Kilda's greatest ever game player in round 7, and he gets there first.
They needed that goal. 3 points the difference then. The Eagles working into a slight breeze. It's blowing towards the left full forward pocket at the left end of the screen there. Cox goes after it, flicks it out. Embley went in. Down goes Stengline. Still a live ball. Judd, great vision. Got it to Cox. Selwood now running Nikoski. He can kick it a long way. Still going Nikoski. Arches the back, gets away. Well, that's not a good effort. Neither one thing nor the other, but he's going to get a free kick for a push in the back as he was kicking.
I think it's gone too far. I think that's what it was. And again, this is Aaron Hamill. Now that chase from Hamill, look at that. That's from a half forward there. He is so important to this side, Hamill.
You're right, Gaz. He ran too far. This is Powell on the outer side. Towards half forward. Gehrig bounces off his chest. Cox put the body in. Well played. Glass, bit of a fumble. Gehrig over the top, swooping on it. Milne will sort of. Now Hayes has got it. He's grabbed the tackling, frenetic at the moment. Getting it out of there was Lynch. Going after the football is Fisher. Judd came over the top. Immediately he's in the grasp. Del Santo did nicely. Feeds it back. Now a chance for Maguire under pressure. Pushed as he kicked. It wanders down towards half forward. Lurking behind. The West Coast Eagles tidy up. Glass gave it to Fletcher. Now in midfield it's Cousins. Over the top to Selwood. He's got support. They're streaming up the ground. The kick from Hunter inside the forward 50. Trying to work in front. Down there was Hanson. He appeared to be holding on. Picked up by Graham. Gets a hand pass away. Maguire to Goddard, and the Saints come away with a footy.
Long kick is good. Powell takes the mark. Revolt's short if he wants him. He can't get back quick enough.
Did well. Wirapunda had 2 to mind then. He just planned himself in the middle.
Central ball good. Blake drifted down, got it to Hudson, doesn't kick a lot of goals, didn't really want to kick this one, got caught. Chick tackled 2 of them, it went back to Blake, gave it to Hamill, spears it to Revolt, and he gathers it on the second chance.
You're watching that unfold, trying to get away. You talked about Aaron Hamill's tackling before. You just know that when you get near Daniel Chick, he's not going to let you go. He's laid 2 tackles in 2 paces there. Aaron, his opponent, ends up with the footy. Good vision sideways again.
Big kick here.
Yeah, he had the Yips pre-season. He kicked Murgel 6 against the Dogs. The Yips are over.
Revolt with a goal. Talk us through this, boys.
Well, see how he turns his foot, his knee comes in.
Durham reckons he miskicked it. That's
like hitting. That's like driving in golf, hitting it out of the heel, but somehow it ends up in the centre of the fairway. He's happy with it.
Well, Seaby up very high. Del Santo into the path of Harvey. Seaby goes again, knocks it back to Fletcher. Upended was Chick, charging through was Hamill. Nikoski coming in the opposite direction. Cousins had it knocked down by Goddard, picked up there by Blake. Eventually it's Selwood, floats one down towards half forward. Leading in the race is Staker with some time. Well, not too much time. Nobody is getting time in this game at the moment. Ball got him. Fletcher came in. Stengline in the grasp. Now an opportunity for ball falling to the ground, was pushed in the back. Advantage is paid. Harvey gave it to Hayes. Now the umpire called advantage, and it's coming back. I think that's good umpiring.
He was born to play as captain of this club. Got a great football pedigree. Father played, uncle played, his brother was an AFL footballer, his mother even coached football for a while. As the short pass is good to Revolt. Don't hold him, you heard the call.
50-metre penalty would apply if he touched a hand on him after that initial contact. That is the new interpretation.
Had a bit of the footy already.
Nick Revolt, a horror round 1 last year, in his first game as captain of the club.
Oh, the Yips.
And that wobbly kick. So you've declared the Yips not over, boys, and you might be spot on. He's got a new hold for the ball.
He's got 1 out of 3, I reckon, so not like that percentage just yet. They need
Do you
some
like
goals.
his new grip, though?
No.
It doesn't matter how you grip it, mate. It's how it hits the foot.
Del Santo gets away, settles. Clever kick, a beautiful kick. Hits Watson's stride.
Gee, Dennis, I reckon if you were a forward and you looked up and Del Santo had the ball and he didn't have the eyes up to the top of the goalpost, you recognise that. You knew he was his instinct was to pass. You'd have a lot of confidence, wouldn't you?
He's just a star. He is the most balanced player in the competition. What about this young man, Fergus Watts, first game for the Saints?
Kicking from 35 metres out, 45-degree angle. I think he's missed. He has. But it does extend the Saints' lead. They're up by 4 now. 9 minutes remaining in this opening period. Everybody's on the phone. It's a telethon.
Sorry, I like their forward line set up, the Saints. Unpredictable. And Gehrig playing out means Glass, who's a very good fullback, has to play out with him.
Who does the second guy talk to?
Here's the man you mentioned, Glass. Have it back to Waters. Sends it wide. Fletcher, hopeful. Del Santo with him. And now Milne. Taken across by Waters, who started on the bench. Missed the entire season last year with groin problems. And then had that problem with the taxi pre-season. Ball back into play. Seabee. Knocked down at Del Santo. Got a handball out. Wirapunda's there. Harvey's over the top of it. He was ridden at little Robert Harvey. And the superstar will take it. Round 7 to break the game's record for the Saints. He'll be his number, age-wise, come round 21, turns 35. And Revolt gets the free inside 50. So he might just tell another story here with the grip.
Well, he's playing
well. Line it up well.
He's playing well, Dwayne. He's getting his hands on the footy. This was just illegal contact in the contest, but or maybe with the head. But I would have said play on personally. But he's got the footy again. He and Gehrig leaped for the same ball initially, and he had to double back. So that's a danger when you've got big, tall forwards. But let's just have a look. This is important for his confidence.
Big kick for Revolt. Big kick for the Saints, and that was never a chance. It's only just scraped in for a behind.
And Hunter's telling him about it.
I think young Adam Hunter might be better off concentrating on trying to get to him in a contest rather than after he's kicked it.
Did you say that last year? I'm just trying to remember. Waters bounces it out of bounds in the pocket. Interesting, actually, that Nick grew up, as you'd expect, barracking for Brisbane. I think that's changed. Not his second favourite team anymore. Here's Graham. He's about 60 metres out. Saints by 5. Past halfway. Clever by Graham. Steps around right on the 50. Then sends a very high one towards full forward. Mark right on the line by Hunter. He developed into a very good player last season. Wirapunda in the pocket. Short. Missed by Kerr. Getting back is Hayes. Hayes feigns the hand pass. Time to settle. Still going. 45 metres out. And they get the hard one. Lenny Hayes.
Lenny Hayes, one of the few New South Wales products in recent times. He's a very, very good, accurate kick. Very rarely kicks short. He's either a handballer or a long kick of the ball, and he puts it through. 23 plays 12. Seabee in the ruck, goes up, knocks it down. Stingline couldn't handle it. Then rode Robert Harvey a little, and will get a secondary ball up in the middle.
8 scoring shots to 2 in favour of St Kilda. I'd have no doubt that St Kilda will come back after the...
That is Mike Sheen. Believe it or not, that is the Herald Sun's Mike Sheen in the St Kilda box.
Fletcher to Kerr, to Cousins, to Kerr. They've worked it nicely, but no one to go to. He's held up. Pops it up inside 50, hoping for Cox. Gets there with one hand.
That's a hold. It's got to be a hold.
The spot on Derm. It'll be Dean Cox to take the free.
I think they might be better off rucking Seabee, just giving him some airtime up there, because Fisher is probably a good-sized kid around the 6'3" mark. Well, Cox is about 6'8", 6'9", and he is just dwarfing him down there, and he looks dangerous every time. Every time. I've got no doubt that the West Coast Eagles after half-time will outscore St Kilda. So St Kilda need to capitalise on this first quarter and hopefully into the second quarter to make a great game of it.
8th disposal for Dean Cox, and it's a beauty.
Ben Cox, third and the best in fairest last season, and that's the beauty of him. 8 disposals. He plays like a little man on occasions, then does that. Down to Kerr, who missed the football. Tracked out by Blake to Thompson. Looping hand pass to Hayes. Down towards half foot. Good shepherd too from Del Santo. The kick back towards centre half forward. Coming up the mid of Fraser Gearing. Loose ball picked up by Braun to Hunter. West Coast Eagles on the move. They trail by 5 points. Jones, there he is, Cox doing it all. Back to Jones, beyond the wing, kicks down towards half forward. That makes it hard. Well, Voss helped them. He pushed in the back. Advantage is paid in any case. Embley goes down towards full forward in front. The mark is taken by Hutchton.
Poor kick, Embley. I mean, he had Lynch was on the other side. He just kicked the preferred side of Hutchton. Dean Cox, he's just the dominant player on the ground, and Blake has just got to pay him some respect here.
But out to Harvey.
Non-defensive 50. Goes back inboard, which can be dangerous, but Baker's there. Joint best and fairest winner, surprisingly, for the Saints last year. Not surprising for Saints fans. He played such a great season, including keeping Chris Judd to just 7 possessions in round 8 when he tagged him and Judd got reported. Kick towards the wing, little bump by Hunter. Umpire said play on. Cousins, he's hit the boundary umpire with the kick. Nice smother. Oh no, I thought the boundary umpire touched it. Should have been a ball in.
Hey, almost quicker than the eye could pick up. They kicked it in the back of his head, did he?
Got up. Nice pass. Voss is away. Sees the lead. Gehrig, bouncing ball off his knee. How's this one, Judd? Out of bounds on the full. They might have a little chat about this one, the two boundary umpires.
The other one,
head. Got him in the head.
In the melon, was he over the line?
He was in the end.
There's Waters. There's the replay on the out of bounds on the full. No doubting that. The boundary umpire becoming something of a cult figure in the space of 10 minutes. There's a chance now for Nikoski to Fletcher, forward of the wing, penetrating kick, down towards half forward, awkward one for Staker. He's held without it, no free kick. Cleverly across to Fletcher, strongly tackled by Fisher, and it goes out of bounds. Fraser Gearing comes off the ground.
Staker yet to touch the footy. Got a bit to prove, I would have thought, after last year's grand final. Here's the Cousins one that's sconned that umpire, and he claimed that it wasn't over the line.
It was over the line. Did well to claim anything, quite frankly.
He didn't know, in other words.
Second half, he'll be running with a helmet. Up comes Hansen. Left the footy behind. Opportunity for Jones. 55 metres out. Embley. Socket away by Graham. Marked by Stengline.
Oh, no.
On an open forward line, went to Kerr, back to Stengline, just over the head of Glass. Well, who else would you give it to? Cox. Possession number 10. Heads wide with it. Nikoski pops it inside 50. Fletcher.
Just outrunning them now. You see their little men are just swarming forward, guys, and they're just running into space. Cousins was out by himself on the other flank. Numerous options now. Just a little
look
bit
at
of fitness.
that, you can't. Ruckman mentality is I don't have to play on anyone. Jason Blake needs to go and man up on Dean Cox.
This kick to give them the lead. Fractured his collarbone. Surfing over Summer. Hits it across the face. Graham's there. And might rush it behind. Still in play. No, it hit the post. Quentin Lynch would have liked it. But it's just the one behind.
There's Voss. Lynch, 31 goals last season, including 2 bags of 4 against Brisbane round 5, Port Adelaide round 10. As Hayes comes back across the ground. Graham once more. It seems that Lynch is the chosen one on the forward line. Goddard jams it up towards the wing, taken by Maguire. He plays on immediately, runs inside the centre square. Long kick towards half forward. Revolt bumped in the back again. That's twice. The umpire letting it go. Whereupon the ambitious goes to Stengline, back to Chet. Kept his head well. Hunter, Fletcher, they're combining well. Well, this has been a remarkable turn by Dean Cox as he goes up towards the wing. A couple of bounces, and so adroit on both sides of his body. That was a good kick. It favoured the leading Staker. Fell to ground. Opportunity now. Waters gave it back to Staker. Seaby tackled by Goddard, knocked away by Hayes. Opportunity for Fisher, dragged down by Staker. Jones is free. Brilliant smother there by the defence though. Knocking it out of there. Maguire got a hand to the ball to knock it away from Cousins. Jones, weight of numbers tells the story for the Eagles. Chris Judd hasn't seen a lot of it. Has the bounce, 75 metres from goal. Beautiful finish. Hanson's got it.
They're still 4 points ahead, the Saints, but I would say right now, those 18 blokes on the field out there for St Kilda are just hanging for that quarter-time siren.
This is having faith in your ability to just not panic when you're surrounded by some traffic and to back yourself to find some space, which he did, sized up.
I think he's got more than faith in his own ability. I think he's got a true depiction of it.
Ashley Hansen from about 35 metres, only 10 metres in from the line. Not good.
Pretty much sums it up. Said he was going to watch the video of last year's grand final. Ashley Hansen this week as a motivation for the start of this season, as it would be for many of the West Coast Eagles players and coaching staff for that matter.
Anna Hunter has just come off and Jamie Graham has gone on to Nick Revolt.
None of these guys will watch video, Way. They're all DVD boys.
Are they?
Yeah. I mentioned video to the Judster. He never heard of it.
They watch it on their phone on the way here. Voss chips it back to Graham, who gave it to him in the first place.
There's Dennis on talking terms with the Judster.
I love it. Blake, he can bounce through the defence. Takes it to the defensive 50. High kick. Kerr and Harvey front spot. Can't bring the mark down. Stenglein hands off to Cousins. He holds and waits and looks and spots and hits him. Jones has got it.
Putting numbers back now, St Kilda. I sense there's a bit of a flow going against them here. Oh, in the middle of it.
High kick inside 50, nearly the big man again. He's been dominant, Cox. Couldn't bring this one in. Hansen keeps it alive, close to the boundary. Couldn't kick this one after the last shot. Kicks it across the face, maybe deliberate. It's a 2-on-1. It's knocked across by Voss. And the umpire says toss it in.
He's entitled to knock the ball away from his opponent, just so happens.
It's a love tap from Daniel Kerr.
Spoils are where you find them. Blake, Milne, close to the boundary. Murray, now Baker. The Saints through. Baker goes long towards half forward. Chick is down there. Putting the body in Harvey, reaching over the top. Chick, crowd one holding the ball. That would be very harsh. It spills out to Kerr. Now Chick worked off the line of it well by Ball, gathered by Peckett right on the siren. And that was pretty good stuff. St Kilda have certainly harmed themselves with their kicking at goal.
Now, the new interpretation would suggest they're going to look at this much more stringently. But on that occasion, we'll say that Brett Voss just walked up the line but didn't step over it to him, which might be a little bit generous. But St Kilda would take that, I reckon, at quarter time. As you said, you'd suspect that this game might get tougher for them as the night wears on. But right now, quarter time, they have got a 4-point lead. The Saints 23, the Eagles 19.
Off under the blood rule, Gary.
Well, we shouldn't laugh because he did wobble a bit, young Jamie, but let's hope he's okay. Second quarter about to get underway.
Saints by 4 points. Breeze virtually across the ground now. Cox dominant. Judd with the outside of the boot sends it out wide. Coming up is Cousins. Bounced obligingly for him. Feeds it back. Wirapunda loops it over the top. Selwood delayed it. Wirapunda kept it in. Goes to half forward. Running hard down there is Stenglein. Turns around. Open goal beckons. And he puts it through.
Wirapunda, Davey Wirapunda. He is made the call in the pre-match there, guys. If there's one bloke you want to put work into, it's Wirapunda. His set-up foot skills. There's a little give over the top. Now watch this hit. That's from back of the wing. Puts Stenglein into space, a goal. One possession from in your own defensive half, albeit by inches, results in a goal. Good running from the middle of the ground from Stenglein as well. They've got to find some goals somewhere, the West Coast Eagles, and that classy quality midfield of Cousins and Judd and Kerr. Got to get forward at every opportunity, and he seized upon it. I don't know if Stevie Powell can run with Stenglein, who's trying to get around him at the moment. He's going to get it now.
Took just 23 seconds of this term for the West Coast to hit the front. Del Santo through traffic, goes long. Garrick's the target. One-on-one. Hamill, he's over it. They're over him. Here he is again. Wirapunda. It was knocked toward him. He couldn't grab it. Nice bit of work though. Graham to Chick to Wirapunda. Wide ball. Jones. Graham's with him. Caught. Boundary line the sanctuary. And it's out of play. We'll get a ball in. the only place he could go. Rowan Jones, 4 games last year only. Ball back into play. Cox, who was dominant in the first term, down Graham. Plenty of time and some space. Back, Milne. Chip kick, good. Del Santo, they can set it up. They've got the free man in the middle. It's Voss, and he didn't want to go to him. Just ignored it, and he goes back to take some time.
8 possessions. Del Santo just pops it out wide. Graham's got it now.
Dean Cox has just positioned himself down inside 50. That's why they're loath to go long.
Graham, 10 possessions.
Play on. There's space to this side of the ground for a lead.
Milne to that space. Gehrig, a strong mark. Good hands.
Your 30 seconds to start, Fraser, because the ball's in your line, mate, okay?
Just being reminded that he's got 30 seconds, Fraser, and he just gets a bit of a hurry on. Needs to compose himself now and not rush himself, but that was smart play. You couldn't go down the line to Dean Cox, so they worked it to the what's known as the fat side, I guess, and it was good hands.
It's got a bit of cramp. He's got a bootlace. The bootlace is undone. Mark so far, St.Kilda 33, West Coast 17, so we assume now the clock stops, does it? I think the next step in the game should be a shot collar. You go over 30 and you get zapped from somebody up on the stand.
Where's the collar go around?
That's right. Well,
was kicking well before the game.
And continues to kick well. Splits the middle. Well done, Fraser.
Saints back in front. 115 games for the West Coast. Fraser Gehrig. The West Coast getting David Sierakowski in pick 18 for the trade of Gehrig to St Kilda, and they used pick 18 to get Daniel Kerr. So still getting a reward for that trade. Ball up. St Kilda kick. Kane Ackland goes with the long bomb. Gehrig's on the move. He might be able to get there. Does.
Okay, he's a show again here. So go back. He kicked the last one well. Held his space very well. He held his lead, and waited and timed it.
Won the Coleman medal the last 2 years, Fraser Gehrig. Not last year, even though Barry Hall kicked more goals than him when you include the finals. And Gehrig lines it up. It's a little wobbly off the boot. Off hands, just to behind.
Well, he wouldn't normally have got to that ball if his starting position was in the goal square. So it might be the best thing for him to start that 20 metres out from goal, and just forces you to run a bit more, forces you to get up and move.
Hunter.
Wirapunda's away. See, this is what they can't allow Wirapunda to do. He pick the eyes out of it each time. That's a good kick still.
Yeah, it was a good kick. So we'll drop it. Ackland charging through. Wirapunda tracks it across the line. 30 plays 25. Early going second term. Thursday night football. We're back again tomorrow night. Western Bulldogs and the Tigers. Great way to start. Back-to-back footy. On 9. There's a chance for Chick. Harris pulls it back across the body. A couple of Saints miscommunicate there. Cousins quite content with that result. Gets it across the line, and Baker is slow to get up.
Yeah, the angry little fella. He's a ripper, Stevie Baker. He'll get up and say, somebody's got to pay for that. Unfortunately, I think it was friendly fire, Stevie. Oh, yeah, it was.
He's going to come off. Been some tough boys. We're the number 10 for the Saints. Carl Dittrich, Spider Everett, Wow Jones.
Claret. He is a ripper, Stevie Baker.
He's a tough boy. He'll be back.
Not sure he'll be overly wrapped with Kane Ackland when he has a look at that in the replay.
It might make him pay at half time.
A failure to communicate.
To Ruckman, I suppose.
Ball back into play. The love-hate relationship with the Ruckman continues. We love the way Cox is playing. Not so much the way Ackland's playing.
That's a good result for St Kilda. If it was with Judd and he was away.
Cox, short-ish. Staker takes the mark on the wing. 30 plays 25. West Coast Eagles hit the front. First 25 seconds of this term. Saints back in front now. Nikoski into trouble. Got a handball out. Grabbed by Powell. Harvey around the body. Revolt's there. He's on the 50. He might be within range, but he might not want to have a shot. Fergus Watts leads. Chip kick. Just goes for the central bomb. High. Murray. And he gave a little push. And it's going to be the West Coast ball.
You just need, if he was going to go there, Nick, you needed to kick with more depth because Murray was behind, and if had he kicked it hard enough, he might have been in a better position.
Free all day long.
Nikoski's got it now. Comes back to Wirapunda. And under pressure, Wirapunda decides to kick for distance. Slides off the side of the boot. How will it bounce towards the boundary line? Del Santo with some space. Gets it across to support. Graham getting a lot of the football, running off half back. Comes down towards half forward and Harvey. Harvey finds himself 60 metres from goal. Trying to be a little too precise. Chick sensing the danger. Got across to Wirrapunda. Wirrapunda swings it out wide. That's better. Cox has it now. Selwood. Mid is in the clear. Selwood can run around the outer side. Elects to kick. Not the best decision. Boss takes the mark on his chest.
Got out of trouble there big time. Short pass to Graham. He's under pressure. Gets a Shepherd. Pushed in the back. Play on, says the umpire.
Ackland got on, sneaked on. He'll get it here.
Hudson to Peckett to Fisher.
Sorry,
here he
Ackland
is.
off. And Blake sneaked on for him. Sorry, Dwayne.
So here he is, Blake. Fresh man on with Ackland coming off. High kick. Murray's under this one again. Wirrapunda's there. Chick with a big fist. Knocked it down. Got it again. Boundary line will do. Big bump behind play. Big bump by Glass. And he's put Hamill down.
Gee, they're growing, the West Coast Eagles, aren't they?
Well, 7-1
Physically.
inside 50 St Kilda at this quarter, and they just haven't been able to convert. They've got to make the most of this.
Fox is up, knocks it down, stumbling to the ground ball. Nikoski got him. Harvey under pressure. Little chip. And he finds Powell about 15 metres, barely the 15, close to the goal.
Now, what would Stevie Powell be, about 39 to 42, 3 metres out when he kicks?
What do you think?
He gets
I
ahead
reckon
of
he's
steam up.
at best a 50-50.
Gets ahead of steam up, he's a chance.
Needs a ramp. Here he comes. Kicks from 35. Let's go down to the dock.
Yeah, Stephen Baker's headed to the St Kilda Rubes, Dennis. A big laceration on the left side of his scalp. He requires some stitches. They should have him out within 5 or 6 minutes, so I expect him to be back.
Cousins sits and has another spell.
Hunter, short. Braun. Missed the grand final for the West Coast, or West Coast fans might say the grand final missed him. Kicks it towards Emily. Back of the pack.
Well done.
Big move by Hayes. He tried to pick it up on the run. Kerr does pick it up. Wobbles it off the step.
Jimmy Cracker.
Gets it towards half forward. Hanson was there, but it's stumped clear of Hanson by Maguire. And we'll get a ball in.
Wasn't that a beautiful kicking action? That was the old Jimmy Cracker. He let it down with the opposite hand of the foot he kicked with.
Well, he changed his mind halfway through the step.
It shows some great dexterity, though, doesn't it, to think his way through it, well, momentarily.
Cox, beautiful palm down. Number one in the comp for palm downs that hit a target. Kerr to Judd. Thinks about going all the way. Goes to the pocket. Bouncing ball just out of the reach of Lynch. We'll get a ball in.
I read an article on the way over about Luke Ball being a junior sprint champion. These two boys having a great battle, Hayes and Kerr. Just Judd afterburners then.
Yep.
And in the end, Luke Ball just almost dropped the head and thought, gee, he can go, this boy.
He would beat Asafa if Asafa had to bounce the ball, wouldn't he?
Well, he would if Asafa didn't run to the line.
Yeah, not in his lane. Yeah, all of that stuff.
Have a look at this. Look at this. Watching the end, Luke Ball says, oh, God, I can't even get you.
Just watch the Hammies game one.
Glass off under the blood rule. Changes going on left, right and centre down there on the line. Judd is off the ground.
Was that the bump on Hamill?
I think it might have been.
Yeah.
So not the decisive victory we thought. Sampi, great to see him back. Down he goes. Blake in trouble. Ball held to him and we'll have a ball up. Ashley Sampi back in the action tonight. Quality young man. His car was pulled over by the police this week because he was having an argument with his girlfriend. That is interesting in itself. Over the football is Selwood. Now, he's been married for 30 years. My advice, before the police got there, he should have pulled over and ran away.
Just Cox in the back not going anywhere near that.
That's when you run.
Judd on the boundary having a spell.
We'll discuss that further. In goes Powell.
Oh, that's not.
Kerr. I've got some questions that need to be answered, Derm. Fletcher.
They're toying with him.
Now Kerr gets through. Still he goes. Kerr fires from 35. This will be a beautiful goal if he's got it. Not quite.
Oh, Dennis, they're a goal down, the West Coast Eagles, and yet they're still toying with St Kilda. They're rotational changes on the bench. There's quality staff. Judd's having a breather. Cox. Finnegan just like the cat and the mouse, just swiping it around at the moment.
Fisher found Del Santo, ran himself into trouble, got out of it, chips it, Peckett. Takes the mark. Last season, you'd think, for Justin Peckett, 34 years of age in October.
Trying to hang on here, the Saints. try and take the pace out of the game. Just if they can turn it into a bit of a scrap-up.
I don't reckon they're ever out of it, Dermot. It's not a big, heavy-scoring West Coast side. They've got 4 goals at the moment. I know it might open up, but they'll think there's still a chance.
Voss went for Maguire. He's got a couple to beat, Lynch and Stengline. Tough to beat 2 on your own. Stengline, chip kick, Hansen. 2 kicks from goal. Got a couple of options. Sampy's one of them. Can't bring the mark down. Ball to the back of the pack. Diving in Jones. 3 Saints around him. The ball's under. The Saints don't let it out, and he gets done for holding the ball.
Well done.
A former human screen around him, and he can't get it out. The old human screen.
That's good teamwork.
It is. There's Peckett at centre-half back. Unshaven and in trouble. He was slung, gets the hand pass away. Maguire. Hayes has got it. Now we've got a whistle.
Yeah, it was a bit high. Sampy just went a little bit high.
There's no advantage in it. Come on, Ashley.
So it's coming back, and the umpire having a word to Ashley Sampy.
And he's a bit angry because he coughed up that one on the lead.
Hodgson from half back.
Running hard, Revolt. He's been super.
He's been terrific. 5 marks so far. Forward line pretty static at the moment. Thanks to Voss. And plenty of Eagles have got back. Voss hugs the boundary line with a kick. Great judgment from Hunter. He's developed into a good player.
He is a good player. Now, what happened there with Fraser? He led up but didn't commit to the lead, and Hunter knew it, so fell off the back and just picks off the easy mark, which was directed to the next pair.
The staker to Wirrapunda, who goes wide, hoping for Seaby. Boundary line, again the Sanctuary. He had a couple of Saints with him, and will get a ball in. 31 plays, 26.
There we go. Cousins comes on, and Kerr has a spell.
Brownlow last year, of course, Ben Cousins, 4th best and fairest for the West Coast Eagles. Sensational season. Hayes, half caught, half dropped it. Umpires his play on, Chick. Ridden by Harvey, play on. Cousins just on, just gets it to Nikoski. Fumble, gather. Handball is good, they're away. Waters, longish kick. How will it bounce? Or will it get a chance to bounce to Sampy? Oh, it does! He's pulled down. He didn't have it. He might have been caught high. Emily wants to play on the advantage to Hansen. It's not allowed. It'll come back.
Foul off.
Well, that's a comedy of errors here from Matty Maguire. He dropped what he should have taken earlier. He went one-handed in the end and then just gives that one up. He tried to make him earn it.
Hands off to Wembley, who goes long with a big high launch. He's nailed it.
Andrew Wembley has 2 goals. No 9 points here, although in the pre-season comp, of course, that's a super goal. Lovely kick. Celebrations all round.
At a premium, the goals. Cox has got 2, Embley's got 2, and Stengline just the 1.
Eagles by a point then. Slapped wide by Blake. Selwood goes in, wins it. Plenty of support. Wirrapunda juggles it, comes away, goes down towards right half forward. Hansen falling to the ground. Embley claimed from behind by Thompson. Voss is working hard in there. Maguire goes over the top. And I think the umpire will ball it up.
Hey, Brosty. There with your hand on the ball. Hey, Phil.
Two arguments with the umpire. Now CB front spot. Laces away with it. And he kicks it longish. Chick with the punch down. Goes and gathers it against Hamill. He did some good work. Braun, Wirrapunda. Another possession for him.
10th possession this quarter for Wirrapunda.
He's had 10, Dermot. He hasn't got an opponent back there. I mean, that is just giving the opposition what they want.
Yep, he's the number 1 you'd focus on.
Thompson, another player who turns 34 in October. Finds Milne. The bee in the bottle. Chips the kick towards Revolt. He gets there, but he can't mark it. He's over it. Hunter kept his feet, stole it, ran away with it. Little handball is good. Bo Waters. Chip kick good from Bo Waters. Gets it to Fletcher. Chip kick from him. Perfect. Embley already got a couple. He may be within range. Loads up. Goes to the big, long, high kick to the goal square. The punch comes late. And it's stuffed through by Jason Blake.
33 plays 31. Under 9 minutes till half-time. There's Ball on the other side. Meters in the clear.
Aaron Hamill's given a lead, but pointed over his head, said kick it over my head.
Ball stopped now. Well, to a contest. That makes it very tricky. Gehrig went to ground. Crumbed there by Czech, who momentarily kept it alive. Now it's out of bounds.
Well, I'm not sure about you, Bucks, but when I saw this lead and that action,
yeah, he's
he might
protected.
have just turned his shoulder on that occasion, and
He protected the left shoulder there, because the left shoulder should have dived out further.
that was exactly the same sort of passage of play that resulted in him breaking his collarbone this time last year.
Gee, worked hard to get to it though. Full of admiration for his workload so far.
Ball once more. Trying to get the ball to Blake. Well-weighted kick. Blake unable to mark it. Jones to Wirapunda. Getting a lot of it now, and that spells danger. Jones met hard but took the mark. Bounces to his feet. Back to Judd, who cruises through midfield. Penetrating kick. A beautiful kick into the path of Hanson. Well played Maguire. Knocked it away. Well played Peckett as he soccers it towards the boundary. Goal.
Brett Voss is thinking at the moment.
Kick towards the pocket, quickly taken, and Embley's got it.
Well, that is the new, more harsher interpretation that we've been told is going to be invoked.
Wasn't it his left foot and his right foot
off the ground under pressure?
Yes.
Now, there's going to be a shot at goals here. There is players for the West Coast everywhere.
Where do you go with that? I mean,
he's gone direct to it, though.
No, but where do you go?
He needs to bite off a bit. Yeah, it's nothing. 45-degree angle up the ground to try and make out, give the umpire something to hang his hat on that he was trying to gain some sort of forward yardage, and at least the umpire say...
Derm, I'm not even arguing that. I'm arguing the spirit of the thing. I mean, defenders have got to be allowed to defend.
No, leave them down there because they're less talented.
Bumps. Quite right.
Pick it up and run with it, you reckon, Derm? Long kick to Blake. Nice kick. He can play on here. It's got some space. Doesn't want to back himself initially and does now with a bounce. Not a lot to go to. The leads come. Hamill, Wirapunda floats in, takes the mark.
Someone has to engage this man and either take him right back to the last line or start getting some free themselves.
They're trying to get Peckett's foot skills and Milne's foot skills, who at times are really his opponent. They're coming up into the middle.
Hanson to centre half forward. Jones, nice gather. Fletcher, Selwood pokes it up in the air. The race is on. Jones will get there first. Shepherd from Cox. Jones the kick. Hits the post. Only a behind.
They are hanging in there. Gee, playing like a 10-goal better team. They're only 3 down now, St Kilda. This is... You'd have to say it's a good result by this, but gee, there's some hard yards ahead. There's some tired boys out there for the Saints.
Wirapunda. Closest person to him, the umpire.
Well, I reckon it's Robert Harvey. Now, Harvey's trying to drag him into the middle of the play. Now, Harvey getting a kick here, which he might because he's on his own, is worth nothing. 16 disposals, 12 uncontested possessions to Wirapunda.
Here's to Fisher. Right half back. Counting down to half time now. Just over 6 minutes till the major break. Eagles by 3. And for the moment, the Saints bogged down. This is Ball. Chips towards the centre of the ground. In from the side, Fletcher did well. Roving the pack, Graham though, got it to Harvey. Spreads it. Hayes, confronted by Cousins, had the misfortune to slip. Then Hayes too nimble for Cox twice. 60 metres out, sends it down towards full forward. Reaching up, Hunter once more.
Used his hands, but it was legal. He's got Cox on one side. And the way Cox is playing, give it to him every time. He's got Cousins short. Cousins could run if he wants.
It's just on.
Chips to Kerr.
Now that's a benefit. While St Kilda are absolutely going up and down on the spot, playing bravely. You've got the West Coast Eagles running Judd, Kerr, Cousins, rotating them off the bench, and they are full of beans, full of everything.
Here we go. Judd through the midfield. A bounce, some arrogance. Runs on, a second bounce. Takes them all on. Takes on Graham. Gives to Embley. Fletcher. Nikoski. Left foot. High bomb. Goal square. Saints getting numbers back. The big flyers go up. Stake of the crumb. Hands to Kerr. Can't break free. Gets the kick away. A rolling ball. Tucked in. Spaker's got it. A few stop. He didn't. Sends it home.
9 points the margin. Very important 5 minutes coming up right here.
You reckon the St Kilda boys thought that was going to be called as a ball up? Just
He would be
squirted out.
a great 5'8" in rugby, Daniel Kerr. Little powerhouse, very quick, goes either way.
Off the ground by Fletcher, missed by Jones. Goddard fell to the ground. Jones on his knees. Fletcher, Judd left without it. Now he's got it, and a problem or three. Eventually it spills to Staker. Stood up in the tackle. The umpire giving them plenty of time. Cousins deflects it across towards Embley. Back towards Jones, involved moments ago. Across the body. Lunging at it. Down there was Ball. Falling to the ground. Got it away to Thompson. Spins out of trouble. Pressure terrific from the West Coast Eagles. Jumping around in there was Kerr. Now he spikes it forward. Fletcher gets it away to Embley. Embley off his step. Wide of the mark. Behind. Increases the lead to 10. And the Saints are under siege.
Oh, 13 West Coast Eagles within scoring distance on that occasion.
They're on the ropes at the moment, the Saints. Hudson. He's got it at half-back, sends it towards Gehrig. Smith misread that slightly, Fraser. Ran under a little, glass was there. Watts sends it high inside 50, just hoping for Revolt to get there. Milnes there. Wirapunda. That is the perfect punch from a defender. He knew where the boundary was and he hit it.
Well, they gave up on trying to get Robert Harvey to engage Dave Wirapunda, so Milne is the man now. He's just got to get very busy, Stephen Milne.
Cox just rips it out of the air against Gehrig. Glass, Fletcher, Stengline. Here they go. He's got space. Has a bounce. He can have another one if he wants to. He takes on Thompson. Goes long with the kick, Stengline, hoping for Staker. Ball thumped clear of him. Kerr. Can he manufacture another one? There's that strength again, Durham. Shrugged the tackle. Inside 50. Hanson got hands to it. Can't bring the mark down. The bump knocks the ball free. Still alive. Staker no free. Maguire. Del Santo in traffic. They are still on the ropes, the Saints. And the short pass to Harvey. He can relieve the pressure. No, he can't. Judd cut it off. The 1-2-3 here. Cousins inside 50. Sends it to what? Goal! It's home!
Well, I don't want to continue. Well, I am going to continue to talk about Dave Wirapunda. When that St Kilda had the footy coming out of half-back, they looked up to find someone presenting, and the only thing, watch Robert Harvey, you'll see Wirapunda down there just dropping back at the back of play. He can't kick because there's no one presenting and Wirapunda's on his own. Ball ends up getting held up at half-back for St Kilda. Turnover, Cousins goal. The loose man in the back line, a player of that ability, he affects the play all over the ground.
St Kilda trying to play 7 backmen now. And the Eagles go down and match them up, 7 forwards.
Biggest lead of the game. Cox up very high. Del Santo. Saints need a score. Stengline knocked out of there by the Saints, but only as far as this man Waters. Ambles beyond the wing, kicks down towards half forward, going back, attempting the mark was Voss, missed it. Now they've got a problem in the deck. Kerr, hand passes towards goal. Harvey, hand pass to a man in pressure. Maguire could have been taken high, and I think that will get them off the hook. It was an errant arm, very late, but certainly a free kick, and now 50.
When you get the ball as quick as you can, Matt. Let's go, Matt!
Maguire. They've lost the footy. Just watch it again. Really nothing to do with what was going on, but it was a free kick. Maguire inside the 50, and Cox goes back and takes a wonderful mark.
Well, they've kicked a Milne, who's about 5'7". Cox is 6'9", and Wirapunda's knocked up getting it, who's standing next to him, a 2-on-1.
In trouble, Selwood to Cousins. Selwood, good shepherd. Brought some space for Cousins. Pumps it down towards half-foot. Goddard goes up, hands to it, couldn't hang on. Jones, and he flicked it over the top. Fletcher was loose. It was closed down, and just as well for the Saints.
Last 10 minutes disposals, 52 to the West Coast Eagles, 24 to St Kilda. Inside 50s, 10-2 in favour of St Kilda. The Saints are having a go. There's no problem with that. They're just like they're an engine that's not running at the moment.
90 seconds from the long break. Judd gets it inside 50, high bomb, and getting back, Voss takes the saving mark. Sends it wide, Peckett. He's got Harvey running for him, but best Harvey runs away and takes Cousins with him, and he does. Short pass is good to Blake. Runs it to the line. Sends it inside 50. High ball, goal square, Milne. Gehrig, both missed it. Can Gehrig get a foot on it? No, rushed through by Embley.
Now, with a minute to go, that should, though, send a message that if they're going to play Blake through the middle of the ground, you've got to use him, because then Dean Cox has got to make a decision. Do I stay back or do I go to Blake?
Cox's hand pass, very effective. Fletcher, Judd, a runner alongside. That's ignored. He goes towards half-forward and stand line. That run continues, though, wide from Hunter. Unfortunately, the kick not so effective. It held him up. Back to Fletcher. Fletcher towards half-forward, getting hands to it. Staker, he was pushed in the back.
Oh, that's just genuinely soft.
Yes, it is. Particularly when you think about Riebold earlier in the game a couple of times. Off hands, Kerr. Was he taken high, falls to the ground, got a hand pass away. Plenty of Saints back. Ram hurriedly and tumbling and taking the mark is Peckett. So we're down to 20 seconds. Now, Ram once more liked his game. The margin was 4 points the Saints way at quarter time. Saints need to be careful here. I doubt there's time for a score. A kick and a mark might do it. Kerr towards half forward. Jones is too far out. Wait for the siren.
I'll get a torpedo here.
Just love these. You've got nothing to lose, so you just go back and launch.
Torpedoes went out with videos.
Well, I did.
Did you say that?
You've got something to lose. Your reputation, I mean. Comes up the side of the boot and goes behind point or something.
Like a little low spear torpedo.
Here he goes.
No good. You've got to have a go at it.
Now, he really did shirk that, didn't he?
100% of the putts that don't reach the cup, no matter what their line is, don't go in.
Well, that's right. You needed somebody there. Get in the goal. That's what they do at the golf. Half-time, 7-5, 4-8. 47 plays 32. So the West Coast Eagles have turned a 4-point deficit at quarter time into a lead.
Staggering difference there. And I might also add that it would have been awful in the St Kilda rooms at half-time, because as the St Kilda players congregated out in the middle there as they went off in one, Grant Thomas eyeballed them from the moment he got onto the ground, around about the wing position, to the moment he got onto the race, and the mood didn't seem a lot lighter as he got back onto the ground afterwards. So we'll see what transpires as a result of all that this half.
Well, those figures show that Woosher is very good at getting them off the ground. And speaking of numbers, Cox has 18 possessions to half-time. That's quite remarkable. Fletcher 18, Kerr 18. Those sort of figures will kill you if you're the opposition. Ruapunda has 17 as we go to the dock.
Yeah, Dennis, West Coast travelling well without any concerns at all on the bench. Fitness will really tell in this second half. St Kilda certainly looked a little bit more fatigued in the changeover, so we have to look and see how they rotate in the second half. Aaron Hamill, one who was really struggling each time he came off. Stevie Baker didn't get back on after having the hit in the head with the stitches, but he's right to go. He'll be right for the second half.
Got to find some goals, the Saints. I'm just looking down to their forward line. They're persisting with Watts in the square. Milne playing behind him. And Del Santo started forward as well.
He's got some creativity about him, no doubt about that.
Start of the second half then, and a centre square infringement to get us underway.
Yeah, Peckett ran in early.
Dean Cox will get his 19th possession. His career high 23 against Collingwood last season. Here's Judd out of the middle, going towards half forward. Hanson, what a beautiful pass.
There's a lucky takedown. Get up off him now. You've done the right thing, because he had Embley going past, and he saved that, Goose Maguire.
Judd has it again, and maybe that was an instruction. Get Judd involved. He goes long down towards full forward. 2 kicks, 2 marks.
Yeah.
Staker's got it.
When you have someone like Chris Judd, first of all, there was a free kick in the middle of the ground. The St Kilda players just stood off him, so Cox was able to hand the footy off. And then this situation, I guess Luke Ball did his best, but you're better off getting defensive side and facing Judd rather than trying to go shoulder to shoulder with him, because he got a little screen. 2 possessions to Judd, and now all of a sudden Staker's having a shot.
Going at his second goal. This to increase the lead. Make it 21 already. 15, the biggest we've had. That's a poor effort. He kicks it behind.
That is so disappointing from Brent Staker. I know they don't do it on purpose, but in the context of the game, to kick that first goal, you just don't know how much that'll take out of the St Kilda side.
Players allowed to bring it in quick if they like. Short pass by Graham is okay. Hudgson's got it in the back pocket.
Even from here, Dwayne, very limited running and leading straight down the line. It's just static stuff. Kick it to us and we'll try and scrap it out. Now a little bit of run comes out of the back line from Graham.
So the 1-2, Goddard and Graham long towards the wing. Ball gets there, but he can't bring the mark in. Nikoski, he slips. Plenty of time, gets up and still hits the pass target, Sampi. He's got a man inboard. Faked for Goddard, sold in the dummy. Gives it to Jones. Short kick is perfect. Embley, little bump.
Good
Embley might be within range here. He's got a player in the goal square. It's Kerr, it's all on his own.
Oh, Graham didn't see it. Graham was minding the goal square and should have seen it, but he backdoored him. He just came in from behind and never saw him, and Graham actually was guarding the position. This was well done.
He's a star, Kerr.
Mr. Brownlow by 1 vote last year. Lines it up and sends it.
That's how good he is. Just gets him in by the narrowest margin.
Ominous figures for the Saints too. The West Coast Eagles have kicked 6 of the last 7 goals in this game. Cox over the top, doing much as he likes in there. It comes back towards him. Hayes off to Peckett. Peckett goes down towards half forward. Embley tracking it back. How will it bounce away from him? But straight to Hunter, who charges up the ground and pinpoints it to Hansen. Well, all the run at the moment after half time is with the West Coast Eagles. That will make it hard. It bounces out of bounds, and really no excuse for that, simply because the Saints have had plenty of time to catch their breath and regroup, but at the moment it's all about want to, and the West Coast Eagles seem to want to more. Boundary throw in front. Ackland, clean possession, looping hand pass into the path of Harvey. He went to ground in the opposite direction. Embley. This is Kerr once more. They work it forward. Selwood to Cousins. Beautiful kick. Sampi couldn't hang on. Found it on the ground. Wheels around. This will do his confidence the world. Oh,
in the back. In the back. Overexertion there by Brent Staker. Didn't need to do it that hard.
The Saints on the last line of defence.
Look how long it takes for the ball to arrive. Had no play in it. I agree with you, Gaz, but it was just overexerted. It just needed to stand there, really. He was not going to touch it. Oh, super dumb.
Super dumb.
Super dumb.
That can't be good.
Oh, no, I'm in that club.
Boss running out of space. Comes back. Fisher. Tackle. His first possession, I think, for quite some time. Now a chance for Goddard. Got it from Voss. He kicks it down towards half forward. Hamill tried to trap it. Slapped out of there by Check, who did well with the body. Cleared a path for Cox. Embley tracks it back towards the boundary line and eventually takes it across. But still, the good news for Ashley Sampi is that he looked in the locker and it's still there.
Ball back into play. Cox, who's been dominant in the first half, gets the palm down, can't find a teammate. Blake loops it to Harvey, hasn't seen a lot of it, kicks it inside 50. Garrick plays for the free. Milne goes hard, he can't trap it. Watts is there, also hasn't seen a lot of it, tries to get through traffic, caught. Jump ball. Get a ball up just inside 50. Fergus Watts, who played the 5 games and kicked 2 goals for the Adelaide Crows. Kicked 10 goals in one SANFL final for Woodville Torrens last September. Fergus Watts, so he can slot him if he gets the chance. Embley steals this, goes wide. Braun and Peckett. Nice one-on-one. Cousins lends a Shepherd. Baker went hard, didn't ride the bump all that badly though. Braun gave it back to Cousins, held his ground, gave the handball on the West Coast away. Hanson with Maguire. Ball thumped over the boundary line. And we'll get a ball in. 54 plays, 32.
Braun did very well. Boundary throw in, left half forward then. West Coast Eagles in attack. Blake from behind, Ackland in front. They double team Cox that time. Embley got the crumb. Kicks inside the 50. Interesting by Lynch. Little side foot to his own advantage. Goes after it. Wrestles. Hudson is in there with him. And we've got a ball up.
Your call on Ashley Sampi, even though he actually cleared the goal line and put it over and it was a no-goal because of the infringement, you can see his attack on the ball in the last 3-4 minutes has been superb. The confidence aspect is rising with him.
Kerr only as far as Voss, who's wrestled down by Jones.
Good tackle, that's it.
You can sense the West Coast Eagles have a real appetite for this now.
Their running capacity is taking over. Handball receives, run to receive, 83 to 43 for St Kilda.
Hayes under pressure, scrambles a kick out. Awkward bounce for Braun. Peckett fell over. Braun stepped over him inside the centre square. Back come the West Coast Eagles. High ball, and the mark is taken by the only flyer really, and that was Selwood. Well, you get the feeling the Eagles are circling like buzzards at the moment.
They are, and they had options there. I mean, you have a look at this. That's a classic contest there. The fitter team stays on their feet.
Yep.
And then you have a look at this. He jumps over the top of one of his own teammates. And with Hanson and Lynch fast approaching.
And adding insult to injury to the status of this game, Kerr decides to have a breather. He gets replaced by the more than capable Fletcher.
Here's Selwood meantime. He'll kick from about 35. Straight through the middle.
First goal for Adam Selwood. Nice grab. He continues this battle with his twin brother Troy, who's at Brisbane, as to who's the superior twin. Adam was born 25 minutes after his brother. He was drafted 25 minutes after his brother in 2002. And may the battle continues. So the third one on the way will be drafted next year. Judd kicks it to half forward.
Good run.
Nice mark by Hanson. Too far out to score unless he gets 50.
He can go.
He plays on. He runs to 50. Sizes them up. Likes the look of them. Misses. Only a behind.
Just leading opposition to the ball. That's what they're doing. Anticipating first one was Mike Sheen, the Herald Sun, up the back with the glasses, whether he might have a move for Grant Thomas.
Goddard comes on, Ackland comes off. Now look, Blake is the replacement ruckman, but he's been needed to go on to Embley on the wing because Goddard can't run with Embley.
Embley on his knees. Judd the loose ball into space. Pulls it back too far and kicks it behind.
Judd's done.
Getting plenty of it now though. 62 to 32. 20 points up very quickly. They've doubled their halftime lead. Here's Harvey from centre half back. Revolt taken down hard by Hunter. Made to earn everything.
The only winner forward of the centre, I would say, Nick Revolt.
Tried very hard. Swings it out wide. Goddard meters in the clear. Harvey, gee, that's hard running. He had it at centre half back moments ago.
7-2 inside 50s, Dennis.
Play on's the call. No one stands the mark. And then Harvey confused himself, I fancy. Milne's got it in the pocket. Chance still for the Saints. Put it over the head of Gehrig. Fletcher knocks it out of there. Peckett in the opposite direction. Wirrapunda charges in. Avoided Hudson. Watts. Now Milne against the line. Sets it up. Hamill right beside the behind post.
Got to think his way through this carefully, Aaron. Not a bad kick on the left foot as a rule, and he does try and put it across the body. But Glass is going to pressure him to put it down onto the boot quicker than normal.
Runs around, just beats Glass, snaps. I think he's missed behind.
Got here Tuesday, Aaron Hamill in his new training regimen. Swim, bike, boxing. Try and stay in the game, given that he only played 12 games last year with that ankle and calf problem.
Just look at that, Dwayne. That's what sort of night Dave Wirrapunda's having it. Fraser's even missing him on the way through.
Just with Rob Harvey when he had the shot at goal from 25 metres out. He is a superstar. That's probably the only part of his game ever. Where he might
and Selwood share it. Fletcher looks for Hanson over his head. Coming hard, Peckett. He knew he was going to be collected the ball, had his eyes on it. Maguire. Chip kick over the head. Harvey, can he set something up? He wants to handball it off, hasn't got a lot to go to. Now he does. Hayes bounces his way to the 50, sends it long. No one in the goal square. Has it got the carry? Is it touched?
That's it.
It's there, all right. And boy, did they need that one.
St Kilda's last goal came at the 3-minute mark of the second term. Fraser Gehrig booted that one. Lenny Hayes on the run, getting the next of them. They're fifth. Rucks go at it. Blake won it down. Cousins digs it out of the middle. Well done by Baker. Full-chested. Kicks towards half forward. In front check. Knocked away by Ball. 3-on-2. It favours the Eagles. Braun slips it away. This is Hunter. Across half back, pushing up the ground is Glass. Glass goes short to Embley. Runs on hard, not required though. Embley spots Cousins. Moving across the ground is Fletcher. Cousins saw him, ignores that, goes for distance. High ball from behind Staker, opts out of the contest. In from the side, Fisher. A two-handed fist away. Lynch did well. That hurt the man coming at him, Del Santo. The kick meantime from Cousins to the square, off hands and behind, and Del Santo is still bent over.
He got one right in the sternum here.
Not for the first time. Got cleaned up by Aaron Hamill in the first quarter as well, Nick Del Santo. So
He's a big unit.
they've got some big bodies, haven't they? The West Coast boys. They're running hard and they've got big frames.
Well, Voss taking plenty of time to bring it in, then slipped. So not taking the option to bring it in quick, Baker.
He's already had the needle and thread out tonight. In the back of the bonce.
Nothing happening here. Just no run at all.
But they're too tired. They're used to chasing at the moment. They're not creative with their...
Sends it wide. Hanson got the thump down. Harvey is trying hard. 34-year-old chips the kick along the wing. Bouncing ball. Hunter's there. Revolt into the fence and over.
The mosh pit.
It's a bit of crowd surfing.
He's happy, good boy.
That could have been a lot worse than it ended up.
Yeah.
Well, that is dangerous.
Good thing it wasn't Baker. They wouldn't have bothered. There's Judd.
He did go through. That's a good throw.
Respect is a marvellous thing, and it can help you out on occasions.
I think it was the family section of the crowd that saved him, Dan.
Blake, I think so. Over the top Glass. Gee, that hurt the man in front. Is that Robert Harvey?
He only knows one way. Robert Harvey, he would just keep coming at the footy, but he's quite within his rights to get up and give the man that kicked that footy room a barreling.
Boundary throw in. Judd hurriedly out of the congestion, only as far as Goddard.
Goddard's got a short option. It's okay to Blake. He's too far out to score. The lead comes from Revolt. It's in front of him. Free kick in the goal square. It'll go to the Saints.
Hit him to the back of the head. Block back here, mate. Nah, you put him to the back of the head, mate. I saw it, mate. I was only 10 metres away, and I saw you put your forearm into his head.
Fergus Watts had no idea that it was his until the umpire said, you better go back and grab the ball. Big kick this. To give the Saints a sniff of a comeback. Top of the square. Never in doubt.
Margin 18 points. And the Saints with the last two. On the way down, Seabee stolen away by Ball. Next one for the Saints would make it interesting. Harvey's hand pass, not all that good. Goddard fumbled. Now Judd, well tackled by Baker. An old score to settle there. Goddard slips it away. They're under pressure. Maguire kept his head to Ball. Smothered off the boot by Selwood. Ricochets to Maguire. Dragged down a swarm of Eagles now. Getting on the loose ball is Kerr. Once again got through but took it out of bounds.
Goddard's been down for a long time. Behind play just to the left of our shot here.
And this was a characteristic of the West Coast Eagles last year, particularly early on. They were just hard at it constantly. And if you played against them, you paid the price. Thrown in. Off hands, Graham.
High kick, Hamill. He was hoping. There's Goddard. He just got up. He's been knocked straight down again. He's got no wind in his lungs at all. But it might work for him. Hamill. He slaps it clear. He's knocked out of it. More players go down. Hamill gets up though. Looks to Hamill to Peckett. He's got Graham wide. Could they get three in a row? Graham leaves it behind. Toe poke good from Braun. Temporarily, Blake around the body back to Graham. Third effort here in the spring. He's spent, so he takes some time. He's got Peckett out wide. Peckett can run all the way. He's outside 50. A long, hard look at them. Could it be three in a row? He's missed to the near side.
Well, that would have made it interesting. This is against the flow of the play, against the trend of the game in lots of ways.
Well, Aaron Hamill's got a chance to get a bit of the footy because Daniel Chick, since quarter time, has had him blanketed. But he looked to have his sight taken away. He's fluttering the eyes. He's on the bench now. He's been taken from the ground after that last collision. And he had put the dampers on Hamill.
Waters gave it to Nikoski. Cousins, one-handed attempt. Taken high was Graham. Wirapunda charges in, does well, slaps it across the line.
This is understanding the tempo of the game here. I mean, just a really concerted push here from St Kilda. The next goal gets them to within 11 points. Here's the Daniel Chick one. Just runs in Aaron Hamill and comes off second best.
It's the second one.
Seaby knocked it down. Harvey stole it. Smothered off the boot there by Selwood, who dives on top and was given away the free kick.
Enjoying their best moment of the game here, the Saints.
Powell plays on immediately and feeds Milne.
Just pokes it up. Wirapunda stands under it. Big fly, Hamill!
Oh, there you go. He's got Waters now as an opponent. He's got free of Chick.
That's the Hamill we want to see. And here's the Gehrig. Can't mark it, though. Glass beats him again. Looks for either the boundary line will do or Jones. Jones just fed it off to Cousins. Sold the dummy. Good smother by Andrew Thompson. And the ball out of play.
Big push on here.
See, Waters no touch on him, whereas Chick's been with him all the time.
Great grab.
Yep.
Judd going forward too for the Eagles. He's pushing forward. Baker picking him up.
See, he's given the free run there.
Ball back into play. Ball gets it. Slaps it down. Got the little handball down to Murray. Couldn't break free with it. Selwood. Handball to Jones. Handball to Wirapunda. There must be two out there. He's been sensational, Wirapunda. 11th season, just 26 years of age. A lot of football still ahead of him. Embley hasn't got a lot of options ahead of him. Finds Judd.
He's going to have space out this side for a lead. Cut right through here.
Judd 60 metres out. Looks towards the pocket, so he's gone very wide. Lynch storms up and takes the mark on his chest, but will kick from an acute angle.
Now, the thing with this, guys, you played from the goal square so many times. For a man who's about 6'4 and a half, 105 kilos, against what was in front of him, a small back line, he's run around the boundary line. Now, that's as a key forward. He's got better places to go.
Cut that angle in half, you would have thought, then a little bit with some space in front of him.
Lynch, who was left out of the grand final team, surprisingly, kicks from 45. Yeah. That was a jab more than a kick, but he's put it through. That hurts the Saints.
Certainly got some bang in that leg. 5th season for Quentin Lynch. Full forwards there if he can grab it. Raised off the rookie list back in 2002.
Just needs to hold his chest marks.
As you said, they just didn't have the confidence to play him in the finals last year. Hayes sends it wide. Bouncing ball. Gehrig got there. Thompson. Half volley. Can't pick it up. Glass has got him. Thompson's still hurt. Big pack around the ball. Thompson goes in. And he couldn't snaffle it. We'll get a ball up.
Been excellent, the Eagles, their pressure, their strength, but too many St Kilda handballs at the feet of their teammates. Just little things like that. He's got a blood rule here.
Blood rule. And we saw Daniel Chick squinting pretty hard. Let's go down to the dock.
Yeah, Daniel Chick just had a check from the Rod Moore, the Eagles doctor. Just a bit dazed when he come off. More a hit from Beau Waters, I think, Dermot. So he's just about to come back. Roger Roberts interchange. We just see Darren Glass, who's already been off under the blood rule, being sent off again. Chicky comes back on.
His forehead's fast becoming an 8-head.
There you go, Daniel Chick.
Well, a bounce on the other side. I think.
Straight back here.
69 plays, 46, 5:20 remaining in this third period. The breeze has fallen away to nothing now. Waters gets back, shrugs a would-be tackler. Kerr, rather untidy. Jones under pressure, manages to get the kick away to midfield. It'll be coming back. Milne controls it, confronted by Nikoski. Gets it across to Thompson. Well, he wasn't ready for that, Blake. As a result, has real trouble. Eventually, falling to the ground, got it to Hayes. Back to Milne. Gehrig comes on the lead. The kick pitches short and runs out of bounds.
Now, the difference between a team like St Kilda, who are heavyweights within the league, they're just sharpening right now. Sydney Swans have won the premiership. There is not a bloke in their team who would miss that simple little chip kick. They'd be shooting at goal now.
Cox gets rid of his opponent. Well, that hasn't been consistently interpreted tonight.
Certainly not in the marking contest.
No, that's the point I was going to make. Sort of pushes sometimes yes, sometimes no. Blake sets it up. Up comes Watts, hands to it, couldn't hang on. In goes Wirapunda, takes a dive, a tumble. Harvey gets the spill, goes to Gehrig, who goes in, and I think he shinned it. He shinned it wide.
Important touch by Waters.
One of the locals.
Certainly have got long memories. He knows where they are here. As you said, 115 games. Won their goal kicking 1 year as well. That's a torpedo. Someone remembers how to do them, and it's Wirapunda. Sends it wide to Staker. Nice handoff there away. Looping ball over the top from Hunter to Cox. Spearing pass. Quinton Lynch. Little handball off is good. Embley can load up from here. From 50. Sends it long. Misses. Only a behind.
It is very handy when you've got a 7-foot link man in the middle of the ground in Dean Cox.
Hard to miss him when you look up.
Fergus Watts comes to the bench and Goddard comes back on. Just struggled a bit, Watts, in his first game. Has got the one goal, but just the mobility factor for him at the minute.
Margin 23 points. There's Graham. Gets a half volley. Goes back to the square. Pretty nondescript stuff. The Saints will try and work it away. Maguire went to Baker. Comes out of the back pocket. Sends it high towards the wing. Waters did well. Came back strongly on Murray. The beneficiary is this man, Wirapunda. Doesn't need much help. Beckons a man to come to him and then delivers.
What about that? You see his hands move up. He brings the ball back into him. The last 3 paces, he changed his mind 3 times before he deliberated on the best option. Watch this. Yep, no. There we go.
Like a pizza delivery.
Yeah.
7 marks to Hansen. And he will kick it goal from just inside the 50. He's one of those guys that in the stats creeps up on you. 7 marks at centre half forward. That is presenting and putting yourself about. Great view of it. It'll be touch and go. And he just misses.
It's the work rate issue that he's always had, Ashley Hansen. You just wonder if the setup with the Eagles, where they are trying to get him closer to goal so he can perhaps be a bit more prolific on the goal scoring sheet.
Saints have had problems bringing it in. Del Santo entrusted with the kick in to Harvey. Held up by Judd. Wide ball. Thompson flies. Can't quite bring the mark down. Good score by Braun. Handball from Jones to Nikoski. They've got 2. They could raffle it here. And they do. They both get a touch. Fletcher and Kerr. Held up. Chips it back to Fletcher. He leaves it for Lynch. Can't mark. Saints still under pressure. Handball flipped up to Powell. It was legal. A few called it a throw from Hudson. Ball comes back to Del Santo. To Hudson. Powell. They worked it over the top to Harvey. Now some space to move. Lenny Hayes. He can run the wing with a couple of bounces. Has the second. Thinks about a third. Has the third. Judd's got in. Missed him. Sends the kick inside 50. High bomb. Up they fly. 3 Eagles.
Fraser.
Down is Fraser. Runs through. Bang!
Well done, Fraser.
He's got 2.
Well done by Fraser Gehrig. 18 points the difference, approaching 3/4 time. Rucks go at it. Blake knocks it down. Kerr leads back in the race. In trouble now. Claimed front on by Ball. Ball emerges with it. Stripped of it though by Judd. Down goes Powell. He's claimed from behind. Hamill head down. Trickles back towards Judd. Ball's got him. Kerr emerges with it. Gets a hand pass away. Taken by Embley, or was it Graham? Graham fell to the ground. Chance for Milne. Coming back was Judd. Left the ball behind. Hamill on one knee. Awkward situation. It's not coming out this time. And the ball up.
Have a real dig the West Coast, the Saints since Brent Staker missed that put early on in this quarter. He could have really put a nail into them with that easy shot.
Fraser Gehrig gone into the goal square too. Gives the Saints a chance to really attack the goal square long.
Blake smothered off the boot. Only moved it a couple of metres. Kerr immediately claimed by Ball. Another bounce. 1:24 with the clock stopped till 3/4 time.
I mean, when you're tired, which all the players are, I mean, the ability to run the lines diminishes. So their option now is to get it in and get it in hard and long and quick.
Blake knocked it wide. Wirapunda slipped over. Murray came to him. That's interesting. The ball wedged between the pair. And now the umpire.
Murray had the ball in the end, guys. boys.
I'll do the commentary. Umpire Vozzo having a lot to say, explaining it to the players. It was an unusual one. Stenglein tries to slap it out. Murray taken down. Here's Hamill. Gets away under pressure. Kicks inside the 50. Awkward half volley for Revolt. Tracks it back towards the middle. Taken by Cox. Hand passed it straight across to Boss. Boss goes from 45. That is a beautiful kick. 2 goals. The difference.
Saints have kicked 4 of the last 5 goals. They've got some work to do, the West Coast Eagles coaching staff. 49 seconds, and they want to get players back. Important 49 seconds in the context of this game. Cox started brilliantly, slotted a handball out to Jones, couldn't break free. Wirapunda to Selwood, around the body, bouncing ball to half forward. Quentin Lynch fishes with him, and the boundary line too quick for them both. We'll get a ball in 33 seconds from time.
Simplified the game plan they have in the last 15 minutes, which has helped. They've just gone, right, let's get a couple of big tall forwards and get in as quick as we can, and that has been a big difference in the last 10 minutes.
2 goals the margin. Cousins breaks free with it, gets the handball to Cox. Got the kick away, high inside 50. Ball thumped clear. Here he is, Sampi. Screws it around and sends it home.
That is sensational. We'll get another look at that, Dermot. Now, this is two on 2. This is just forward line instinct from Ashley Sampson. You watch, he's got Max Hutchton as his opponent when this ball comes in. He stays with Hutchton, stays with him and peels off just at the right time, front and square.
Graham.
And it was Graham, was it? And bang, kicks a goal around the corner. See, that one movement there is a forward line instinctive movement.
Absolutely. Get at footy training if you're down the local club and stand next to somebody and within 3 paces be a metre away from them.
Timing.
Intercept the ball in the meantime and snap a goal. It looks simple on TV like that, but just brilliant.
Having said all of that, I mean, Graham has been terrific tonight.
Hasn't he?
1 moment's hesitation, and Sampi is the sort of player that makes you pay.
Good stuff.
Clock stops at 6, and they're evacuating the coach's box. Well, almost just looking over the board and realising there's still a fight here. St Kilda doggedly coming back late in this term. Thursday night football looks like a great start to the season coming up. Powell towards half forward, dying seconds. It's 3/4 time.
Well done, Saints.
And the margin was 15 points at halftime. It's now 18 points, so they've lost very little despite a wonderful start to the term by the West Coast Eagles. 3/4 time then, checking that scoreline. West Coast 11-11, St Kilda 8-11.
10 or 20 seconds later, into the huddle go the players. Ackland and Blake just talking away. Now, whatever Grant Thomas said has had some sort of effect on the young man, Kane Ackland. So watch with great interest now whether he can take it out of his own huddle, Dermot, and onto the playing field.
I think they were just rehearsing the move they're going to put on Coxon. That's the best light we can put on it. Up goes Cox. Well, it didn't work. Pen pass from Judd. Selwood scrambles it out wide. Harvey dives in with desperation. This third term is very good. Goddard has it now from right half forward. Chips towards the pocket. Wide of Revolt, who looks pretty tired. Hunter leads him back in the race.
It's from a comment.
That could be anything. Heat of the battle.
Could be anything. I can say I went through 211 games, Gaz, and never saw 2 teammates do that.
That's you.
Ball back into play. You're too busy doing opposition huddles.
That's right.
Comes to Harvey. Sends it high towards the goal square. In fact, it's not 10. Play on. And it's been marked by Kerr. And straight up on the air. Kerr chips. Judd holds it up. He's got Stenglein wide if he wants him.
I can't believe you blokes are willing to let him off the hook.
I'm with you, Jim. I can't believe
I
that
think
happened.
that is extraordinary.
And there's no doubt whatsoever you'll hear more about it.
Turn it up.
It is extraordinary.
It is extraordinary. I've never seen it. I don't know why I didn't come back and belt him.
We're just doubting going with you, that's all.
It's at Launder Kerr who takes the mark.
Thanks, Ben.
Had a pretty good night, Daniel Kerr.
Super done.
Plays on. Kick not so good. Bouncing ball. Embley gets there. Got a couple to beat. Tries to ride the tackle from Thompson. Then he's thrown out. Good bit of work by Andrew Thompson. Quick-fire handball to Del Santo. They move it to Goddard. The lead comes from Revolt. High ball. He's got some work to do. He gets back. Forces the punch down. Hamill comes hard. 4 to beat. Got a little bump in the back and Judd steals it. And he gets them out of trouble. Sends it high and long and Embley's got the mark.
He's led up from centre-half forward here because Hansen's on the bench.
Open forward line, just 3 of them inside the forward 50. Well done by Hudson. Slaps it away, goes after his own spoil. Arriving quickly was Sampi. Trying to get through there was Graham. Voss surrounded. Hudson back into the fray. A little chip pass. Now ball in space. Decides to go. Plenty of runners alongside. Backing off is Cox. Ball thinking about going over the top. It was well played by Cox. The kick not so good either as a result. Some indecision from Ball affected the kick, and Waters able to push it across the line.
Peckett gone down in the forward pocket, so his job this quarter is to try and look after David Wirapunda. Baker going with Cousins. Fraser Gehrig back in the goal square.
Boundary throw in right on the 50. Cox was in front. Dowdy touched it though. Kerr somehow flicks it back. Ackland gets a kick away. And it's going to be a Saints free for a throw.
Scoot to there.
Fair
Scoot
enough.
to there. Just to the back, just to the back.
For the 8th time. There'll be a chance, Aaron Hamill. They had a lot of footy. Not sure.
Kane Ackland's the kicker.
Okay.
And I would think Kane Ackland's probably a better show than Aaron Hamill by foot.
Well, he's fired up, dude.
If he has to punch it from there, he'll be right. Now, he's not a bad kick. Not a bad kick at all. Aaron might try and sneak forward side on here. How can you do that side on forward? Yeah.
Free kicks over.
Yeah, what I mean.
17 to 9. SD. So Ackland might get the distance, I wouldn't think. And Chick is working overtime on the mark, and it worked. Long ball towards the opposite pocket, and Cox goes up virtually unopposed and takes the mark. What a game he's played. To Cousins, picked up the 3 Brownlow votes last time these sides met. Career best now for Dean Cox, 24 possessions. This is Hunter to stem line. First goal absolutely essential for the Saints.
You get the feeling that the West Coast know that. They're not taking any risks at all, just controlling the tempo here.
And St Kilda, Peckett not going all that far from Davey Wirapunda.
Stem line to the wing, Goddard read it best. Stoker effectively grounded by Maguire. Goddard slid in and took the mark.
Comes to the centre. It's going to be a tough one for Ackland, but he marked it okay.
Good hard lead.
Plays on quickly. Revolt's there. Can he get there? Chick's coming hard.
Oh.
He pushed Revolt after he had hands on it, and he wasn't facing the ball. Free kick, Revolt.
Now, Ackland's got to get into a dangerous position, so Cox has to go to him and get him out of that hole.
Knows he can't make the distance. Goes back to Goddard. Plays on. Just sends it long. Cox is in the hole and can't mark it. Got a little push. Play on. Hamill's there. Can't gather it. Hunter did. Gave it to Judd. The superstar runs clear. Sends it to the midfield. High ball. Good punch down. Well worked by Fisher. Got it to ground. 1-on-1. Braun fighting Harwick. Goddard, and the boundary line will do for Goddard. We'll get a ball in.
That kick that came out to, I think it was the Jamie Graham. That's the kick that we normally see Hansen get onto the end of. Now, when he walked off at 3/4 time, he was taking really small paces. Just wouldn't mind a doc will check it out, see if he's got a little bit of soreness in the groins.
Murray and Del Santo combine. This is Murray. Runs beyond the wing. Has a second bounce. Those bounces not too convincing. The kick even less so. Wanders down towards the pocket. Revolt made it look okay. Hand passes back into the path of Murray. Chopped off by Jones. In there is Chick to Wirapunda. Wirapunda launches one from back. Only as far as the centre though. Missed by Ball. Coming into lend assistance was Baker. And over the top. Working overtime and out. Number there is Judd.
Who's got it against? Who's got it?
I think it's going to be Judd's free. I think Ball went in first with the footy. It was claimed by Judd.
We had more of it in the end, Judd.
He's got the free. Inside the centre square. Debatable decision. Hangs it up. Going back with wonderful courage there and almost the mark to Maguire. Came off his chest. Crawling after it is Graham. Emerging with it is Lynch, and he's wrestled to the ground, and the umpire will ball it up.
Just the contrast in the last 2 forward 50s. That one strong, long and direct. down the other end, Alan Murray had Fraser Gehrig in one out in the goal square, elected to go short to Revolt, went out of bounds.
The worst thing was the short kick missed the target. Maguire, Graham,
Good boy.
steady in defence, read it well, sends it towards Harvey and Jones. Ball knocked down, well read by Hunter. He beats Revolt, goes to Embley, played it on. Now Nikoski just loads up and sends it long, hopes for the big leap. Maguire comes over the top, Samby knocked it clear, dispossessed, picks it up, rolls it and misses. Only a behind.
He's got some reflexes, hasn't he, that boy?
He has done, but a good spot to kick it again. Bang it in, 10 metres out from the square. Big contest. Crummers at the foot of the pack.
Yeah, well, you take a fair bit on yourself too if you don't spoil that ball. Try to mark and then follow your own ball. I mean, he left it in there for him, didn't he? He left it close.
There's a rule there that if you're going to leave your man go in the contest, you've got to kill that contest.
That's right.
Get it right out of the area.
And it was tailor-made because he was running, facing the boundary. He could have thumped it 20 metres out that way.
Good lead. That's the hardest lead in league footy. Big long kick straight down the middle, coming up from centre half forward. Well done.
Revolt's got the football. Not his fault, the Saints trail. Goes looking for Gehrig, and that's a clever mark. He wants to play on, runs to 50 and is pushed as he kicked and sprays it out of bounds on the full. He may have been better advised to stop and take a deliberate kick as we go down to the dock.
Yeah, just following up on Dermot with Ashley Hansen. He's tightened up in the left hamstring, Dermy. They've been trying to loosen him up and massage him. Went for a run, wasn't happy, so maybe restricted the rest of the night.
Wirrapunda, Cousins, Kerr, Jones, Embley on the wing, and he gathers it up for an initial fumble. Braun's there for him if he wants it. Embley thinks about another bounce. He might go all the way here. A third bounce. Now they come at him. Sends the kick towards the goal square. Getting back, Braun. He was there free the whole time. He just had to try and work out what Embley wanted to do.
There's great understanding, Dwayne, I think, between the two of them. I think Braun looked at him and thought, well, you've got some room. I'll let you keep running and just lead sort of from a parallel point of view. So he was running down one side of the ground while Embley did, and he maintained that distance. And in the end, Embley said, yep, I want to kick it to you.
For some breathing space, he's missed to the near side. And the Saints are still alive with 13 minutes to full time.
Wasting no time. Graham pops it out to Goddard. Terrific night for football. Goddard coming up for his 16th possession. Across the ground to Fisher. Is it right half back? Just pops it inside the centre square. Ackland comes up, claims it, plays on immediately. Swings it out wide. Maguire pushing up the ground. Compelled to go back and find it. And as a result, he's corralled on the wing. Kicks eventually down towards half forward. Revolt will have to go again. Oh, that was a wonderful mark.
Applaud that again. He started shoulder to shoulder with Hunter and out-sprinted him to it.
8 marks. Off his step. Gehrig is the target. Missed it. Loose ball. Eventually came to a stop. Glass got back. Hand pass to Graham. Eventually they'll work it out. Chick. Nikoski running from half back, and he's showing plenty of toe alongside the centre circle. Stays. Oh, brilliant tackle. Not rewarded. Ball comes out. Stemmed line. That non-decision is going to hurt the Saints. There's plenty of West Coast Eagles runners here. Nikoski from 55. High ball. Run on the goal line. He's taken the mark.
He actually stopped. He thought it was going to clear the goal line over the points, and he stopped and then thought, whoa, that's dying. Second go.
This is not. Don't blame this to Max Hutchin or anyone else. The problem for St Kilda starts when they go into their forward line, because it comes out at a rate of knots with 6 blokes alongside it, West Coast blokes.
Lynch, sharp angle. Makes his move a little too early.
Just sneaking away from them. That was ominous, that run out of the half-back line by the Eagles. He called it when Chick took it away from the goal square, set up from there.
Dean Cox has just limped off too. We'll get the dock straight onto that one. Hopefully for the Eagles, just a bit of cramp.
Hayes gets it from Goddard. Still a chance, the Saints. All the way back to Graham, who started with the kick out. Not a lot to go to. Goes to Murray. The race on to get there first. Ball thump clear. Braun will be back onto it quickly. Pops the kick up to half forward. Ball thump clear by Hudson. Del Santo back to Goddard, and they can reload the Saints. Long high kick. Under it, Braun again. He's got 2 to beat this time. Boundary might be the sanctuary, and he finds it. Down to Tony Jones.
Nice bit of irony on the St Kilda interchange bench there with Ackland off, Blake on.
High five on the way off.
No.
They're keeping them apart. Boundary throw in.
Bone crusher though.
Powell behind the pack. Quickly onto the boot. Not an effective kick. Wobbles down towards centre-half forward. Peckett came in. Eyes only for the footy. Slapped it across the ground. Diving in there was Ball. Taking him on was Selwood. Spills back towards Fletcher. Did nicely. Got the deflection to Cousins. He's surrounded. Threads his way through. Kicks towards half forward. The early push from the man behind. And the mark is taken there by Staker.
Oh, they're on out wide.
They are indeed 3 of them. This is Fletcher running on his Waters. He's got it now. And look at the run. Kerr is on for the short one in the pocket. They've completely run away from St Kilda, but Waters decides to go back and take his kick.
It just felt, since that run of Chicky called Gary out of defence, and there was 3 or 4 stream through with him, fitness is really starting to show in these last 2 or 3 minutes. They only had behind scored with those forward thrusts.
52 metres, Bo Waters slides it across the front of goal. Off hands, Graham missed the football. Goddard tidies up, goes back to Voss. Voss out wide looking for Murray. Murray went to grab. Yes, you do. Came off his hands. Braun is dragged down, but Seavey was left standing. Goes to Fletcher. Can he seal the deal? No. Getting back is Hodgson.
That kid has got it's super talent, but he just doesn't put everything into that marking effort several times now.
Fisher got it from Hodgson. Wants to run away from Waters. 21 points, 9 minutes. That's the equation for St Kilda. Baker to Goddard. Runs through centre half back and sends it wide to Thompson. If he gets it, he can go. He didn't get it. Has to go back and get it. It's around Seavey. Chip kick, Revolt presents again, but takes the mark too far out to score. Back into the middle. Nice pass. Voss thought about playing on. Staker was right behind him to Hayes. Can he send it home from 50? Loads up and drives it through. Still alive, the Saints.
Official attendance tonight, 40,036. The margin is 15 points. One down by Blake, stolen away by Cousins. Arches the back, slips out of the centre, goes long towards half forward. Maguire got a fist on it. Goddard, he controlled it very nicely. Back to Maguire on the overlap. Indecisive kick. The man coming at him, that was Cousins, affected the kick. Thumped back by Braun. Opportunity for Voss. He wants it to go out. And it does. Just looking at the figures for Nick Revolt. His best performance against the West Coast Eagles in terms of marks, 15 round 9 of 2004, 27 possessions in that game. He's had 14 possessions tonight, 9 marks, but he's been terrific. Fletcher somehow got through, lines up, and he's missed.
And they've had the odd chance too, the Eagles have just controlled this game, let's face it, for the entire night, and they've had the chance to nail this one shut. The fact that they haven't means that the Saints will continue to sit in. I'd push Revolt to the goal square now, Dermot, and just say, right, all or nothing. Let's win the game.
Yeah, my belief is they'd probably break down at half forward and it'll never get to him if they do that, though.
Boss to Graham to Harvey. Would you get Judd back on?
Judd? Wouldn't have him off.
7:35. Give him another couple of minutes and let him blow him apart for 5.
Revolt presents again. Strong hands.
He's got Jamie Graham. That's why I say it now. He's a young man, a bit inexperienced. I reckon he's got to get close to the goal. So these are going through the goals rather than out there.
And just on the coaching aspect then, I would say who was going to take that mark?
Well, Hamill's been rested. He's sitting in the goal square at the
Aaron's
moment.
dead tonight.
Fraser Gehrig's got to get up and get busy.
Quarter time, Aaron had run out of steam. If he doesn't mark it on the wing, no one from St Kilda will.
15 points, 7 minutes. Taking it out of the air, but not able to get a kick away with Seavey. Still a chance. Seavey over it. Glass will hold it in with him. And on attacking 50 will get a ball up. Doc Larkins.
Yeah, Adam Hunter's been off for 5 minutes, ran out of gas in the legs. That's why Revolt's got a new opponent. Dean Cox just cramp in the hammy, Dermot.
Bounce on the 50, taken by Thompson. Tries to get through. Hand passes across towards centre half foot, intended for Goddard. Hayes at close quarters to Powell. Lunging in there was Kerr. Picked up by Harvey. Lays it off. This is Revolt. He's upended. Missed the footy. Holding it.
That's more of a bump. He didn't stick the tackle, but he did drop the ball from the tackling contact.
Very quick whistle.
Oh, yeah.
Waters comes away. Goes square. Wirapunda, who was dominant in that second term, drives it to the wing and stand line. He plays on immediately, looking to pinpoint the footy. Staker, that's a strong mark. Coming at full tilt. 75 metres from goal. 80 plays 65. Sends a high one to about 20 metres from goal. Fisted away by Graham. Lurking in front, Nikoski. His snap wide of the mark. Another behind. 16 points.
Oh, sorry. Then Adam Hunter's back on. So I think John Morshold's identified that Graham's not the man. So get out of care, Ty. Get back out there.
A little flutter there for a minute. Yeah, we got Judd coming back on. He'll run out the last 5.5 minutes or so.
Blood rule here. So the Saints not allowed to bring it in quickly with the blood rule.
And
Graham will have to hold it up. 3 goals unanswered, and they'll hit the front, the Saints. They've got 6 minutes to kick them.
Revolt gone to the goal square.
Yep.
Hammond centre half forward.
Okay.
All or nothing.
There we go. So they almost got to run it past Aaron because Chick will cover him on the lead and get to Revolt with the kick from centre wing.
They've played the huddle. Graham to himself, then sends it long. They've all broken to one side.
Well
nice movement, very well worked. Maguire, high kick. Fraser Gehrig, the target. One grab, not the second. He was held. He'll get the free.
I'll tell you what.
Yeah, he's just got to kick the goal, Fraser. I mean,
To make a twitch if he gets it through.
he's got to have the fitness to be able to play out there for the next 5 or 6 minutes.
Big kick this. He's only been able to get the 1 goal so far tonight.
We got here blood rule.
Blood, got it. So Gehrig out to half forward. Needs to kick the goal. 10-point margin. Over 5 minutes still to play.
It'll come from on the 50
64% Fraser Gehrig from this position.
to make it a 2-goal ball game. The Coleman medalists, the ex-West Coast Eagles, superstar from full forward, left town, back to his old home, knows where they are, left foot kicks a little left, and he's lifted way left, behind.
Remains with 2 goals, his best effort against the Eagles, 5.
Good Andrew right there.
Here's Cousins, 2-4 for Fraser Gehrig. Centimetre perfect, it bounces out of bounds. Don't know what you were worried about. Powell. Held.
Coming off Powell, Del Santo back on. That's that would give the Saints some hope here.
Boundary throw in. Seaby battles in front. Harvey got the crumb. Upended Del Santo. Bounces inside the forward 50. Wanting it most there was Kerr, or was it Wirapunda? Wirapunda got it to Cousins. Cousins on the defensive 50. Sends it wide. Hansen in front. Had it knocked away. Fisher. Revolt. Fisher once more. Comes across to Hayes. He can run. Space in front. Hayes, not a good kick. They're tired players now. Spills towards Chick. Brilliant pickup by Chick. Dashes away from half-back. The hand pass. Sold Hunter into trouble, but Chick takes it back. Kicks beyond the wing towards half-forward. Baker edged out of it by Kerr. Controls it nicely. Aided by the obliging bounce. Goes down towards full forward. Lunging was Voss. The little side kick across the face of goal. Missed everything. Close to the boundary line.
Now,
Sampi battles with Graham.
Now, Dennis, why isn't that holding the man when Sampi's got hold of him? Yet Cox gets a free kick in the first quarter for just the tiniest of jumper pulls, which results in a goal. Holds onto him, and he doesn't have the ball.
It's one of the vagaries of the game, Dirk.
Ball back into play.
Sorry for getting it right.
I'm glad you asked me.
Shrugs at couple. The superstar might close the book. He's missed. The Eagles have won their last 4 round 1 games. They've won their last 23 of their last 24 games here at Subiaco. Times on their side. Blake Seaby was with him, shuffles it out, and Hayes, he can run the wing, has a bounce, gets around Selwood, trying to set it up, goes with a long kick, Revolt comes hard, drops this one.
Fatigue.
Stengline sends it to half forward, Kerr flies, can't bring the mark down, Baker's still with him, he rode Embley, umpire said it was okay, ball flipped out wide, Peckett, still a chance to Saints, Peckett to half forward, Revolt again, and he holds on to this one.
This is just a superhuman effort by Nick Revolt, presents again. Baker's run into him without watching the footy there. That's a
free kick every time.
Not every time, guys.
Should be every time.
How good is Nick Revolt's effort?
Across the ground, Hutchton swings it wider still, but gee, Hamill will need to go. He gave away a free kick, but Chick took the mark at the back in any case. I think it'll come back and be granted to Seaby. So time is up, you fancy, for the Saints. They've been gallant tonight. The margin currently at 16 points. It was 15 at the major break. The West Coast Eagles have threatened a couple of times to break it wide open, but the Saints haven't allowed that. This is glass. So the West Coast Eagles, who defended their fortress at home last year so well, will start with a win at home, it seems, unless something dramatic happens.
See, we're a punter trying to push Milne one side of glass kicking and go the other way.
Ball coming back, missed it. Stengline on the ground, got it to Selwood, who finds Fletcher. The run is with the West Coast Eagles. Hunter, long, Embley, proving a target on the forward line. That time looking for the mark. Moments ago was side putting it at goal. He's been lurking. Boundary throw in right on the 50. Well, it's late for that sort of call.
Waters comes back on. He's got a bike helmet on now. About to come into shot.
Baker to play inside 50. Staker. Half held. Baker steals it back. Hayes still working hard to Peckett. 2 minutes from time and they're 3 goals from the lead. Milne just inside the interchange gate takes the mark and Warapunda holds him up. It's not going to be quite the horror start to the season for the Saints that they had last year, but it looks like being a loss nonetheless. Milne, long high kick, Hamill flies, can't bring the mark down. Hunter the crumb, kept his feet nicely. Handball not so good. In fact, it was good because he got a second stat. Gave it to Jones. Staker's on the move, got the mark. Just outside 50. Waters is calling for it. He goes longer to full forward. Ball thumped down by Hutchton. Still alive. Kerr, Sampi. He misses. But he's had a pretty good night given his summer.
Well, the West Coast Eagles have scored 6 behinds this quarter without adding a goal. So the margin could be a little bit better. Although in hindsight, I guess with the bravery that the Saints have shown, it's probably just about right now. But the Eagles, they've controlled this game for most of this night.
Milne in the pocket and some unwanted consistency from the Saints. We look back to their last 3 games now, including this one. 65 in the qualifying final, at 65 points against Adelaide, 65 against Sydney in the preliminary final. And tonight they produced just 66 points, and yet we think of them as a high-scoring team. Certainly in their last 3 games of footy, that's not the case. Warapunda, Kerr, Cousins. He's on the wing, pops it up. Going back is Waters. Well, looks like an infirmary down there. Waters has the football, wants to go and does. Runs inside the 50. And true to form, he's missed as well. So we're down to 32 seconds.
Was that in honour of Easter, Dennis? That
the Witcher Watcher?
Honour of Easter?
May well be.
Like a hot cross bun to me. Fisher. Just outside 50. Finds Blake. Dives. Some jeers. Back to Fisher. Under pressure again. Embley's got him. Finds Hutchton with the handball. Goes all the way back to Graham at full back.
He's been all right.
Good,
Graham.
Good.
Just his 10th game of AFL football too, Graham. 2 games with the Lions. Long high kick. Thompson down there. Harvey's got it, but it's a victory to the West Coast Eagles at home. It's been a tough summer for the West Coast Eagles, but they've responded in the best possible way. They've got the 4 points.
And that's remarkable. They've won, kicking only 7 behinds in the last quarter.
They have indeed. I think at the end of the night, the energy wasn't there for St Kilda to sort of pinch it from them, and the West Coast didn't put them away by virtue of the fact in that they just sprayed a couple from time to time. So Ben Cousins, well, he would be pretty relieved that that is all out of the way. He played another super game. I don't think there's ever been any question that regardless of what went on over the pre-season, that his form would suffer as a result. The usual suspects got the job done for them once again, and John Worsfold, well, he would also be happy that the game's over.
Did I see words pass between Cousins and Harvey, or did I imagine that?
No, I saw that. I couldn't imagine that they would be crosswords. They might have been. There was a bit of a smile there on Ben Cousins' face, but maybe TJ